I am the last human being in the world. Live a repetitive life every day. All resources can be used at will. I moved my bedroom directly into the middle of the road. P with 1,000-year-old antique. There's no need to get dressed. Get up at 6 a.m. sharp. Go to the store and grab some breakfast. And I fed them with oats to my chickens. Pick some strawberries for dessert. Water the corn with a fire truck. Fill the generator with gasoline. Then turn on the radio and call channel by channel. No response as always. Every day for 3 years. And with that, I came to the biggest football stadium. Play a World Cup final with a costume model. I dribble the ball and shoot alone. And he was screaming. If the national football team had me, it would have been out of the circle long ago. So far I've done everything in the day, but only 2 hours have passed. I can only sit with models. Pass the time with various European, American, Japanese, and Korean blockbusters. Finally waited for night to fall. The most exciting activity of the day begins immediately. I stretch myself, walking slowly into the underground parking lot. I picked out a Lamborghini today, galloping down the highway. Feel the speed and passion. I growled and stood up, vent the loneliness in my heart. Suddenly, he was shocked to find a figure in front of him. He slammed the steering wheel. The car came to a stop just in time, but hit the guardrail next to it. I didn't care about the injury on my face. He was leaning forward with a flashlight. The mood is both perturbed and excited. I saw a girl holding a sheep standing in front of me. She was more excited than I was to see someone alive. I actually cried. Then he threw himself directly into my arms. I feel the girl's warm embrace. I'm sure I'm not alone in this world. Return to the station. I gave her all the good things to eat. The girl said she came from Lhasa, because when the doomsday erupts, there are rumors that high altitudes can avert disaster. So countless people went to Tibet, but in the end they all died. The girl has received a satellite signal. It shows that there are human colonies in the north. She embarked on a journey of 1 man and 1 sheep, gone for a full 9 months. I was the first person she met, and I was listening to her talk while trying to connect to satellite TV. And it worked. A foreign leader appears on the screen, an invitation to survivors around the world. And when the crowd appears on the screen, the 2 of us could no longer contain our excitement, cheering wildly. Someone, really someone. And there are still many people. The girl and I reached an agreement that night, decided to head to the nearest survivor city, Northridge. The next day we had supplies ready. I released the local chickens that have accompanied me for 3 years. He got in the car, and he went off with Hope. I met a melon field on the road. She picked 2 baskets of watermelons, and I went and collected some communication equipment, and let her try to see if she can connect to the internet. I didn't expect it to be connected. The girl looked at people's posts and noticed something unusual. Everyone is talking about men. It turns out that the whole world has not found a surviving man. I became the last man on Earth. If you knew you were the last man on Earth, what would that feel like? I was stunned for 3 seconds. Then I couldn't help but laugh. I couldn't control myself. The little sister who was traveling with me looks at my virtue. His face was full of contempt and helplessness. In the evening, we passed by a hot spring hotel. I put my foot on the accelerator, smashed the glass door, drive the car directly into the hotel lobby. This is a habit I have developed by living alone in the apocalypse for many years. After getting off the bus, he said to his little sister, "I'll let you soak in a hot spring later, then sleep beautifully. Tomorrow, we will directly enter the human gathering place in the Norland." And then I took out the generator and the heating rod to heat the water. Little sister looks disgusted, muttering fake hot springs. After the water got hot, I left my little sister to take a bath here. Leave by yourself to find some clothes. As soon as I left, I thought of an important thing. Run back immediately and shout, "Be sure to unplug the electricity before washing." As a result, I met my little sister undressing. Little sister roared. I quickly turned and ran away. Came to the mall and picked out all kinds of daily necessities. Then I picked out a skirt for my little sister in the clothing section. I chose a handsome suit. The next day, we were full of hope and headed for the Norland. I planned to have a roast duck meal when I arrive, then go to the cloth palace for the night. The more we think about it, the more beautiful we become. Suddenly a few people appeared on the grass in front of them. This is the first group of humans we've seen in 3 years. The little sister excitedly said hello loudly. And I saw something wrong. Shout, drive fast and don't stop. Not long after, the sign that welcomes you in the Norland appears in front, and there are several female corpses hanging under the sign. It seems that Norland may not be what we thought. A barricade suddenly appeared around the bend ahead. Several heavily armed women stopped us. I get nervous. She tousled her hair and tried to hide her face, then whispered to the little sister to leave quickly. But the little sister is unaware of the danger, not only parked the car, and naively said that he was here to participate in the reconstruction work. That's when a woman with glasses found me. Just raise your gun and order me out of the car. I reached for a wrench and was about to open the door. Suddenly a purple-haired woman ran from behind and shouted, "Sister Na, they are our own." Then I saw him put two pieces of chocolate in Sister Na's hand, and he took us away. Purple Hair sat in the back seat, picked up the lamb and said directly, "I saved your life. Give me this sheep." It turned out that he was eyeing our lamb. Just came to the rescue, and he thought I was a disguised man. The little sister retorted loudly after hearing it, "He's not a pseudo-man." I hurriedly shouted to stop my little sister from talking. "Sheep can't be given to you." The purple hair was stunned after hearing it, pulled out a pistol and said, "How about exchanging this for you?" Then he put the gun to my head. I stopped the car. I was so nervous, but he still said harshly, "Sheep can never be given to you." Purple Hair is about to get out of the car with a lamb. I grabbed her arm. He stared at her firmly. She saw that I was so tough that she gave up. After getting off the bus, he said something. "You are so manly. You fake man, aren't you? I like it. Hee." Soon after we left, we arrived at the Union government's office in the Norland. The person in charge is a blonde woman. They were surprised to find out I was a man. The girl in purple is more excited because she belongs to the same country as me. Immediately took out his phone and sent a message. "The last man is Chinese, and you're standing right next to me." The person in charge and I rushed to stop, but still one step too late. The message exploded in less than 1 second. "All countries are talking harshly. Swear to the death to grab me, the last man." I was too scared to speak. And this candid photographer is even worse. Not only did they expose me to the internet, attracted women from all over the world to come and rob me. "You're going to knock me down in the street." I put all my strength into it, just as we were deadlocked. Several luxury cars suddenly arrived. The Ferrari in the middle has been dressed up as a wedding car. Sister Mink, who came down from above, is the leader of the Northeast Army. They are the largest gang in the north since the apocalypse. Sister Mink said with a teasing look after seeing me, "Get in the car, honey. I came to pick you up. In a while, let's go directly to the Cloth Palace to hold the wedding." Then he came towards me with a smile. The blonde foreigner immediately stopped in the middle, said to Sister Mink firmly, "This is a North American coalition government lease. It's up to you to mess around." Sister Mink's face sank instantly after hearing this. He looked at the foreigner viciously and said, "Now listen up. This is China." Bang pop. Blood splattered on my face. The woman who claims my mating rights has fallen in front of me. I looked at the black muzzle. I know in my heart that this woman with a gun is even more terrifying. It's hard to get out without a trick. Then he suddenly rushed forward and knocked Sister Mink down. But to be a leader must not be an ordinary person. I saw a little force in her hand. It threw me to the ground. "Then take it easy and subdue me." Just at this moment, a shovel suddenly fell from the sky. It turned out to be another foreigner who drove the excavator. He attacked Sister Mink while controlling the shovel, while yelling for me to run away. Other Northeast troops opened fire on excavators. I took advantage of this opportunity to immediately grab my little sister and prepare to escape. At this time, the candid photographer who exposed me rushed out again, shouting, "Don't go." And I hit her in the head with a wrench. "Fuck you, stinky bitch." It's done. The candid photographer can only relieve his anger. Now Sister Mink is the biggest threat. Sure enough, the Ferrari behind did not run far before catching up. Sister Mink stood in the car and teased me loudly. I was so scared that I hurried to close the window. She got more excited when she saw me scared. He jumped right into my car. I never imagined that women would be so crazy to chase men. I don't know if I would meet the last woman in the world. Will you be chasing like her? The sudden sound of breaking glass woke me up. This woman broke my car window with her bare hands. My inner defenses completely collapsed. I thought if she climbed into the car, I'll just do it. Just then the roar of motorcycles could be heard from behind. Sister Mink looked back. He frowned, muttering, "It's these guys again. Driving a motorcycle is noisy." These were the northern guerrillas known as the men's gang, and I got really nervous. I'm so worried that my precious body will be taken by them. At this time, the boss of the men's gang and Sister Mink, already fighting on the roof of my car. I also use the brakes from time to time to disrupt Sister Mink's attack. Sister Mink is not only not angry. Instead, he smiled and said that he would clean me up at night, and I panicked even more. I would rather review my lessons than be with her at night. Hastily picked up the gun and aimed it at his mink coat. One shot just hit the opening of the coat. Sister Mink was hung on a billboard. Finally got rid of this perverted bitch. I was so excited. After driving forward another kilometer, the men's motorcycle team pulled me over. I quickly stopped them loudly. "Don't come here. I know martial arts." The boss looked at me seriously and said, "We don't want your body. What we need is your spirit. Because we are a gang of men. In this age of women, we must fight for men's rights. You, the last man, are our spiritual flag. If you want to stay, we will protect you well." I didn't think much of it, rejected them on the spot on the grounds that he still had to review his homework. Unexpectedly, not only did they not make it difficult for me, they also gave me weapons and gasoline and other supplies. I was very moved to see how enthusiastic they were. After making a man's gesture, shouted their slogans. "Men don't die, fight for men." This group of fake men got up in an instant after listening, start cheering like crazy. The little sister lay on the car and looked at them and said, "Are these people really happy to see you?" And I told her it was a bunch of psychopaths. Let's run. This time I learned it from experience. Dress up as a woman. But it didn't take long for the road ahead to be blocked. I was just about to move the barricade. Several people suddenly flew down from the bridge and surrounded us. They think we are spies for the Northeast Army. Took us to a courtyard called Jiangnan Mansion. The owner of the garden is a refined and intellectual woman. She recognized me as the last man at a glance. Fortunately, her orientation is not interested in me, and agreed to let us go. I just breathed a sigh of relief. A leader of the guard group named Han Ying stood up. Also announced loudly, "I want this man. Wait until he gives birth to my son before letting him go." I was shocked. Kind of incredible. The girl drank up a bottle of mutai in 1 second. Then he slammed the bottle to the ground, kicked open my door, yelled at me, "I have to take you down tonight." I was terrified, because I am the last man in the world. Watch him approach me step by step. I quickly took out the fruit knife hidden under the pillow for self-defense. But the girl deserves to be the captain of the escort. A big slap slapped me on the bed. And then always, crazy, slap me. When my last pair of pants was thrown under the bed, the feeling of helplessness quickly spread through my body. My dignity as a man was destroyed. I only have one thought now. Bite your tongue and kill yourself. The key moment has arrived. Rebuked at the girl. Let go of that man. The Northeast Army has reached the city. You're still doing this kind of thing here. Now immediately go to organize personnel to arm and intercept. They have spoken harshly. It is necessary to steal the last man in the world, so you have to do your best to stop them. And if I ever catch this happening again, I will stop your supplies. The principal's words really worked. The girl got off me quickly after listening. Left the room drunk. The night scenery of Jiangnan is charming, but my heart is so bad. Looking at myself being beaten like a pig's head. For words quickly floated through my brain. No love. The footsteps of the two came from behind. You don't need to look to know that it is the principal and his sister. My sister's words of comfort didn't work at all. I asked the principal in a low voice, "Why have women in the world become so powerful?" The principal said that so far no one knows the reason. If you want to know why, you have to get up and find it yourself. I looked at her doubtfully. Do you agree to let me go? Don't you want to keep me as the last man? The principal said coldly. You'll only bring more trouble here if you stay. Besides, in my eyes, you are not a man at all. When men encounter setbacks, I won't run away or even commit suicide as cowardly as you are. You are in my eyes more like a kid leaving home for the first time. And what you need now is not strength. It's the will and the determination to never give up until you find the answer. After speaking, he took out a photo and continued to say, "This person is a biologist. Since there are no men in the world, he rescued 16 sperm banks. Then tens of thousands of artificial insemination experiments were carried out, but it all failed. He is now the head of disaster traceability in North America. We are trying our best to find the cause of the disaster, because the problem can only be solved if the cause is found. I'll take you out of town tomorrow. You go find this person. It should be of great help." However, the next day, danger is still coming. It took the woman 300,000 to finally paint the tank her beloved pink. Because there is only this kind of car, only worthy of her identity as the leader of the Northeast Army. The woman's name is Sister Mink. This is the first time she has driven her beloved tank out. Today she is going to rob a man, and he is the last man in the world. The convoy on the opposite side blocked the Northeast Army. Captain Hong Ying rushed into the battlefield in her underwear, because she was about to take down the last man by force. As a result, it was stirred up by this Mink sister. Sister Mink also saw that there was a problem with Hong Ying's clothes and scolded angrily, "Look at you dressed like this. Must be the man who tied me up." And Hong Ying does not show weakness. "You slut is dead. That man doesn't work at all. I have killed it." Sister Mink was stunned for 3 seconds after listening. Then he shouted fire. The two sides quickly started a firefight. "I am the last man, principal of Jiangnan Mansion, going to send me and my little sister to a biologist. I hope I can find the reason for the extinction of men in me." But as soon as he went out, he was surrounded by the guards. It turned out that Hong Ying had already ordered, "No one can let me go." Seeing this, the principal immediately sank his face and said to get out of the way, and the girl opposite didn't move. Now she's really angry, because everyone in the escort, for 3 years she's been feeding on her supplies, and now she turned against her for a man. I saw the principal hugging his skirt. "Lift your leg and kick the girl away. Then say it out loud. I will personally send you today. See who dares to stop." At night, the principal has already driven us to Shanghai. Looking at this silent city, it is impossible to imagine the prosperity of his past. There are occasional pedestrians on both sides of the street, but they're all women. Suddenly 3 people appeared in the alley with abnormal behavior. I took a closer look. It turned out that 2 women were bullying a man. Could it be that in this world, and a second man besides me? I'll shout right away. Principal stopped quickly, and there was a man. "We're going to save him." But the principal said unusually calmly, "You'd better not go, because there can be no men here." At this moment, I couldn't listen to her persuasion at all. Picked up the pistol and got out of the car, raised the gun, and yelled, "Let him go." The 2 women took me very seriously. Let's take a look again. Our car turned out to be an official's. Immediately left with interest, and I walked up to this man. It turned out to be a woman pretending to be a man. I'm really disappointed. "Hey,